Welcome to my channel. For those of you who are new here, and also for those of you who are already subscribed, I am Tisa. I'm the owner of Birmingham REI LLC, as well as the creator of How to Start Investing for the Price of a Wig. Today, guys, I have a special treat for us. I'm super excited because this is the first interview that I've had on this channel. This is Paul, and he is a business owner as well as an investor. He invests in tax properties. Okay, so I want to have him come on, as well as I'm going to do some other people to come on to let you guys know that yes, you can do this, right? Because this channel is all about empowering the individual to do what we just don't think we could do, don't know how to do. So I'm so grateful to Paul today because he came on, he agreed to come on and talk a little bit about how he got started, how he used tax properties to create several streams of income, passive as well as, businesses that they're non-passive, right? So let's just dive right in. Thank you so much, Paul, for coming on today. Let's see. The first thing I want to talk about, because like I said, you're a real estate investor, you do the tax properties, right? But
Yes.
you're also a business owner as well. You're not just an investor, you have other businesses, right? So
Yes.
let's just get started. How did you get started into like buying tax properties? Like what motivated you to start?
Well, when I first started, I always hear about people having rental homes, and I was trying to figure out how do people afford to buy a home that they actually live in,
Yeah.
and then have enough money to buy other homes. So one of my friends introduced me to the tax homes. So I bought me a couple of them. Just what the first one I bought, and I fixed it up. I made sure it was something that nobody else was gonna want. I had to fix the roof. I had to put doors, windows. Basically, you could just walk through the house.
Okay.
So basically, after I put all that money into it, I just started renting it out. And once they paid their rent for about 6 months, I made more updates on the house
Oh, wow.
and just kept improving it until I was able to go buy another one.
Oh, wow. That's awesome. Now, let me just recap that a little bit, okay? Because some of what you answered, some of your answer just answered some other questions, right? But I'm glad you did because I heard you say the first thing you decided was, first of all, your friend came to you and said, hey, there's a way you can have a rental house, right? Because you was wondering, like, how do
Yes,
I get rental property? Because we hear that all the time. People say you need to invest in real estate, right? But just the average
yes,
person who's working a regular 9 to 5, you're like, wait a minute, how do I start doing that? I'm not Warren Buffett, right? Like I'm not
exactly,
what is this guy Elon Musk? I don't have that kind of money. So how do I, just the average person out here trying to live, already have a home, how do I start buying real estate, right? Rental properties.
yes,
So your friend told you about it. And one of the key things I heard you say was you made sure that nobody else wanted it, right? So that I just
yes,
wanted to point that out, right? Another thing you said was you made the repairs. Okay. So after
yes,
6 months of somebody paying their rent, you didn't take that money and go ball out. You didn't take the what the young kids say. I don't know. You just didn't take that money and go get lit or whatever these people say, right? You took that money and
exactly,
reinvested it. So the profit that you made from that rental, from that tax property, you reinvested it in the property. And that's how you improve the worth of your asset, right? So I just wanted to put
exactly,
that in there. Okay.
exactly. But I did forget to tell you one thing of how I got the money to even get the first one.
Okay.
I just didn't spend my income tax money.
All right. I hear that.
So
Wow.
so so people always holler about they can't save money,
Right.
but I just took my income tax money and put on that first one. That
Oh,
way, when I'm thinking about it, it wasn't a long process,
yeah.
nothing. Just if you could just sacrifice your income tax money one time, just
Okay.
once. that'll get you your first home.
Wow. So it didn't even feel like, you know how sometimes you have to take so much out of each check. Because I know with my first property, I took the money that I was going to spend on Christmas and bought it. And I just scaled down, I scaled Christmas down to like 1 or 2 gifts, right? So I hear you say, what you just said was you took your refund and said, hey, I'm not even gonna miss it, right? Because it's not coming out of my check every week. You get what I'm saying? So that is like
Exactly.
super smart. Yeah. Thank you for
Yeah,
sharing that.
like I said, you can't miss nothing you never had. And if you are already taking care of yourself, not living check to check,
Yeah.
man, you should be able to do that.
That's awesome. Thank you for sharing that. Okay.
Yeah.
So the next thing, so the first question was, how did you get into it, right? What motivated you? How long have you been doing it? That's the next thing I want to talk about. How long have you been doing it?
About 8, 9 years now.
Oh wow. Okay. All right. Okay,
Mhm.
9 years. All right. And so you told me a little bit about your first property, right? So you used your first property to start having rental income, right? So that's you created
Exactly.
a passive income stream by your first property. Okay, so you went from hearing your friend talk about it, right? And you said, okay, how you do that? So you say, okay, well, I'll just take my income tax refund, and then you created a passive income just like that. So you didn't go to somebody's course. You didn't spend, oh my gosh, what do people spend in all these conferences, these real estate conferences, right? You see these ads everywhere. You didn't do any of that. You said, no, I'm just going to do it like this. Just bam, bam, bam.
Yeah.
All right.
Exactly.
Wow. All right. So tell me about your first property. Is it like, so I know it's a residential space, right? So it's a house.
Yes.
Okay. So is it 2 bedroom, 1 bath, 3 bedroom, 1 bath, 2 baths? Tell me about that.
It's 3 bedroom, 1 bath. It's a small home. It's one of them homes that's, like they're so small. Well, I ain't gonna say I'm not trying to say really small, but it's just 3 regular sized rooms.
Okay.
The house, back in the old days, they didn't even build a house with hallways. All the rooms were just right there together, if you understand, if
Okay.
that makes
Yeah,
any
I can
sense.
picture it. Yep, I get what you're saying.
Yeah, so but basically, I just, like I said, just bought it and did my repairs.
All right.
And you got to learn how to do some of that stuff yourself too, because you can't pay
Right.
everybody to come in there and do stuff.
Okay. So did you, like you said, you got it and you did some of it yourself?
Yes.
Like when you fixed it up? Okay. All right. So you got to have some DIY in you, right?
Yes. The only people I actually paid was like an electrician and a plumber.
All right.
And but like far as fixing those floors, snatching the carpet up, laying down new laminate flooring.
Oh wow.
I done all that.
Oh wow, that's awesome.
Baseboards, crime mold, and stuff like that. I only pay for what I have to.
That's well, you know what? That's what investors do, right? It's different from, and I'm so glad you said that, because when you're an investor, you're not thinking from just how can I say it? Just like somebody that's buying on the market. You're not doing that. You're coming in thinking, how am I gonna make the most money out of this property by spending the very least I can spend, right? So you're not gonna be super cheap. Just like you just said, you did some of that labor yourself, but stuff that super duper matter, like that plumbing and that electricity, yeah, you need to make sure that somebody's not gonna turn on a light and burn the house down. You know what I'm saying? So that's very, very smart, right? Yeah. Okay, so let me ask you this. What advice would you share with a newbie, like somebody that's looking to purchase their first tax property, but they're just like you were, right? Like you wanted to do it, but you just didn't understand how to do it. What would you tell them to do?
Go down to the courthouse. Make sure like there are no liens on the house.
Okay.
No mortgage on the house. And just actually it'll do you some good to actually know who actually own the house. because sometimes those people be deceased,
Right.
and you don't ever have to worry about them coming back challenging you for the home.
Right.
Some people, as soon as you show interest in it, now they want to try to pay the back taxes on it,
Right.
and so you be in a little fight with them about it, but it's not a biggie. Just say like if it was $2,000 old on the home,
Mhm.
you can actually, a lot of people don't know it, but you can actually go down there and maybe put a little bit more. So it's some type where you can put a little bit more on it and just get it out of reach for somebody else to come back and get it.
Right. Right. And that's a strategy. I know it's a strategy that some people do, because I remember I looked up this house, and it's not far actually. I looked up this house, and the house was burned, like it was burned to the ground. Okay. But whoever paid the back taxes on it, they actually paid like 80,000. And that was way over the amount of the back taxes. So yeah, I know that's a strategy that some people share, right? Some people do, right? But yeah, I heard you say the advice would be for you to go to the courthouse. So that means that you already have that address. Just in case people are wondering, like, okay, Tisa, how do I do this, right? What you were just talking about. I want to remind them and remind everybody that on this channel, you can find videos to how do you use your county tax website to look up the information that you shared, like the owner. All you got to have either the parcel number, the property owner's name, or the address. Okay, so you can find that out if the person is deceased, right? If people pass away, right? So if you have somebody in your neighborhood and you know they passed away, you can look up the information on that property if you know the address. All those videos are on this channel, and I'm gonna link them in the in the description of this video. Okay, guys. Also, when you mentioned about going to the courthouse, what he's talking about there is checking to see if there are any liens. You have either the address or the parcel number. All right. Make sure you have that information. But those are all great tips, Paul. I do appreciate that so much. Okay. And I did want to talk a little bit about your business, because you do have other business, right? That this having tax properties, they generate income. So that means that you can generate more income from just spending a couple of thousand on a house, right? A couple of thousand. You can build your own property on land that you obtain through the tax list. Okay. As long as you make sure that it's beyond the redemption period. Okay. And you can also you can also quiet the title on a property. Okay. So you can go back once you quiet that title on that property, then you have clear title. So all from spending from anywhere from a few hundred, right, to a few thousand, you can have several $1,000s in equity, guys. Okay. So I just wanted to make sure to point all of that out, because I'm so glad you shared what you did share and share your story, because I don't think people really understand how much you can do just with 100, 200, 1,000, 2,000, what that can manifest into, right? So can you share a little bit about like your excavation business? Because you do some heavy jobs now. You have a dump truck, you have an excavator, right? So it's Lowes Excavation. Did I say that right? That's correct? Okay. So I wanted to make sure to give your business a shout out, because a lot of times when you are in this business, you need a contractor. You need somebody to come clear the brush that's overgrown because the person passed away, right? You may buy.
That's number one.
Well, go ahead.
That's number one. Now, when, like I told you, I said I make sure I bought a house that nobody want.
Okay.
It had trees growing all up beside it.
Oh, wow.
and you know, stuff waist high.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, how am I gonna get rid of this stuff?
Oh.
So instead of me paying somebody to do it, I just went and bought me a bobcat.
Oh my gosh, did you really? Is that how you got your bobcat?
Yeah, and I just done it myself. And
That's wonderful.
and now, along with that, me buying it just to clear that property, people see I have it, and now, like I say, I just go out and do work for people like that all the time. So basically, now that if I want to have the house, I want to buy the bobcat. But by me having the bobcat now, it done paid for itself time after time after time again,
Yeah.
and that allows me to use just to keep going.
Oh my gosh, I did not know that. That's awesome.
Yes.
Well, not only that, you have the bobcat, but then you have a dump truck, which I love. I was super excited when I saw that dump truck, right? You
Yes.
have that dump truck, and then you have like other equipment and stuff that you can use. So if anybody's watching this video, because I know you guys do and you're asking me questions, if you're in Central Alabama, I'm talking about like Jefferson County, okay? Because most of what I talk about on this channel, it is Jefferson County. But if you're in Central Alabama, I'm gonna make sure to check with Paul, and I'll put his business contact information in the description of this video. So if you guys want to hit him up, right? If you're looking at a property and you're like, oh my gosh, what am I gonna do? How do I clear this? Here's your guy right here. He can clear it for you. He got the equipment for you. No matter, if it's just need bobcat work or if you need somebody to come with the dump truck, he got you. Okay. Well, that's it, Paul. Thank you so much for coming on. I appreciate you so much for doing this video. Because my goal for my channel is to show. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I just say anything for you. You always been so nice and so sweet. Anything for you.
Thank you, Paul, so much. Well, I just want you guys to see that it is everyday people out here doing it. As you heard Paul's story, he didn't have $1 million. He didn't inherit, generational wealth, right? Because that's such a popular term, right? But you got to start somewhere. So just because you may not have inherited generational wealth, you can start it, right? Because when you own, and when I say own, I mean the deeds. I don't mean, because I do have a video on this channel, and I wish people understood that ownership is different than having a mortgage. Okay. Having a mortgage means I am buying something, I am purchasing something. That is a marketing trick when people tell you that, hey, now you're a homeowner. Unless you have the deed for that house, it's not yours. Unless you have the deed for that land, unless it's just like having a car. Unless you have the title with no liens on that car, it does not belong to you. Okay. So I want you guys to understand this is how you have ownership. This is a means to an end. It's a strategy to generate generational wealth. All right.
Exactly.
So again, thank you so much, Paul. I appreciate you, and thank you guys for watching. Till next time.
You're welcome. Till next time. Bye-bye.